Welcome to the Geeks Attic. This is a book review of Star Wars Shadow of the Sith. Star Wars Shadow of the Sith was written by Adam Chrisopher, published by Del-Rey. Thank you for sending out this advanced reader copy for me to review. The story takes place 17 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. Now let's get into a brief summary. A young family is on the run. We've got Dathan Palpatine, his wife Miramir, and their little child, Rey. Now, this family is being hunted down by the Sith Eternal Cultists to be taken back to Exegol. New Republic forces actually stumble upon Dathan and Miramir's ship while it's under attack, and the New Republic rescues them, files a report, before releasing them back out into space. Later on, Lando Calrissian is having a sabacc game of his life when he overhears a guy called Ochi of Bastoon talking with some goons about the Sith and kidnapping a little girl. This hits hard for Lando as his own daughter was taken from him just 6 years ago when she was only 2 years old. Lando then reaches out to his old friend Luke Skywalker, knowing that he would absolutely want to hear about the Sith happenings in the galaxy. Luke has been training new students of the Force, including his nephew, Ben Solo. Luke senses something dark is on the horizon, but can't pin down exactly what it is. When Lando reaches out to him about the Sith shenanigans, the two of them hit the road, or the space lanes, to go save a family from being kidnapped and to find out more about the Sith secrets. So let's get into my overall thoughts. I was really excited to get my hands on this book. I could not wait to read it. A new Luke Skywalker story featuring Lando Calrissian. This is going to be an awesome adventure. Star Wars once again teaches me to tame my expectations because this story that was supposed to be an epic adventure turned out to be a boring and depressing tale. The author does a pretty good job with descriptions. However, there are some moments where it turns into a detail overload, describing the same thing in different ways. It gets pretty repetitive. There are short chapters in this book, which I have come to really enjoy those. It makes the story move along a lot faster. Adam Chrisopher did a pretty good job of keeping my interest, going, if that makes sense. With these shorter chapters, you read one and you're like, okay, well, I like Luke Skywalker, I like Lando Calrissian, I want to see what happens next. So you just read another chapter and then another chapter and it just keeps going and you're like, oh wow, I'm getting a pretty big chunk of this book done, even though I'm not really enjoying what I'm reading. This story ties in heavily to the sequel trilogy, lightly touching on some of those questions that were raised from the films, but not really fully answering much. I get this feeling that the story group at Lucasfilm, I don't know if they tie in together with the books, if they have conversations together, I'm pretty sure they do, but I just don't feel like they're confident in what they want to tell and how they want to tell it, so it's kind of up to the author to, hey, you have these limitations, come up with something that's going to be entertaining, but not really giving them much to pull from. I do like exploring the Sith lore, we did get a lot of that in this one, but it really didn't go too deep. It was kind of shallow. A lot of this stuff was pretty shallow. Like I said, it touched on some of the questions that were raised from the films, but it also brings up a lot more. Being vague and mysterious does not make a story good. The sequel trilogies, they were vague and mysterious, and a lot of fans were left disappointed with the lack of detail and depth of characters and stories. It just kind of felt rushed and, oh, we don't know, so here's something. Now, I wanted to talk about something that I found very silly without getting into too much. Ochi of Bastoon, this Jedi hunter that worked with Darth Sidious and Vader, is now working with the Sith Eternal Cultists. He is in a public place, talking about working with the Sith, telling secrets, telling of his past, and how he is on a mission to kidnap a family. In public. This is silly, but kidnap, I think that sounds silly for Star Wars. Just, why don't you say something like, oh, I've got to abduct a family, I'm going to take a family, I'm going to kidnap a family. It just sounds silly. 2, Ochi, like I said it twice or 3 times already, is in public, so everyone can hear his plans. The Sith Eternal Cultists, which I thought could have been creepy, came off cheesy and tacky. They have a seance and they're all just kind of chanting. It's silly. There's one planet, this one's on me. There's this planet called Uturba, and I kept reading it as a YouTuber. My wires are getting crossed, but yeah, Uturba. See, I want to do it now. Uturba. So do I recommend that you pick up and read Star Wars Shadow of the Sith by Adam Chrisopher? Well, if you're a huge fan of the sequel trilogy, I'm going to say that you probably will like this book. If you are not a big fan of the sequel trilogy, you're not going to get much out of this story. So for the rating, I'm going to have to give this a 1.5 out of 5 stars, or a D. The story really lacks depth and good characterization of characters that are supposed to be awesome. We love Luke, we love Lando, and I feel like they just kind of fell flat in this tale. And that does it for this Star Wars book review. Leave your comments down below if you're excited about this book. Are you going to read it? Have you read it? What are your thoughts? Check me out across all social media at The Geeks Attic and thegeeksaddict.com. Have a good one.